Thank you for joining me today. I'm excited because I'm going to share with you how to speak up at work and get noticed. So this is so important because you have some great ideas and you've got experiences and unique perspectives that not everybody has that are really unique to you. And so missing out on opportunities if you remain silent or fly under the radar, you are going to miss out on opportunities that you do not want to miss. And these opportunities come in the forms of building your own reputation, influencing others, and making a difference within your team and your company. In fact, there was a study done by Randstad US, and they found that nearly all bosses surveyed value the thoughts and ideas of their employees. And in fact, 73% of them believed their companies would be more successful if more of their employees provided feedback. So this is some huge information, some great information that will help you become more confident in speaking up at work. So, hey, I'm Dr. Heather Williamson with the Transformation Group, and welcome back to the channel. All right, so let's get started. So one of the first things that you can do to speak up at work and get noticed is to know your why. And what I mean by know your why, don't just speak up for the sake of speaking up. You've got to be providing value. If you have probably had the experience where some people just like to hear the sound of their voice, and so they just talk and talk and talk and not really say anything of value. And I don't know about you, but when I'm around people like that, it is so annoying. And I'm pretty sure you feel the exact same way. So if you're going to speak up, you need to know why it matters. Whatever that topic is that you are going to provide input for, know for you why it matters for you to share your perspective. Also know what outcome that you are trying to achieve when you are sharing your ideas and perspectives. And this is hugely important because it means that you are actually thinking about it and not just randomly throwing something out to the wind for people just to hear you talk. So know your why. Second is to ask questions. So it's hugely important to ask questions just really so you get a better understanding of what the direction or strategies that meeting is taking, or that who that boss is, what they're trying to share, and the why behind it for them. Also, use your knowledge and your experience to share your perspective that you're trying to communicate, and utilize active listening skills. This is really important, to really listen to what that person is sharing. And so your comments and your suggestions are going to be within the context of following through with what that person is actually saying, and not go off on some random tangent. So you want to stay focused on using your active listening skills so you stay within that context. The third thing that you can do, the third tip for you, is to actually be prepared. I don't know about you, but I have sat in a ton of meetings, and I'm guilty. I have been in a meeting where maybe I just haven't read the agenda in advance, or I just kind of show up because I'm like, all right, I'll just hear what I need to hear and then move from that. If you want to speak up and get noticed, you need to actually be prepared. And that means reading the agenda in advance, reading also any pertaining documents or materials that go with that meeting that's going to be on that topic that day. And also think about, if you're not familiar with that topic, research it. Find out what it is that you probably need to know so you are providing value in sharing your ideas and perspective. Also, it might help you to write down any questions in advance in a bullet form to make sure that you don't forget anything and that people see that wisdom that you actually have. Another thing that you can do is provide how you think about how you're going to start that conversation. And you kind of know the people, probably a lot of them, and what their thought process is. Think about how you're going to respond. So make sure that the conversation that you started, the questions that you ask, are going to be open-ended and not just a yes or no answer, because you really want to hear and understand what the other person or the other team members are saying and their reason why. Also, listen to others, what they're saying and the questions that they're asking, and then you can kind of start framing yours in a similar way. They can be your models, and you're going to role model your questions and comments after them, because they maybe have more experience, or they're maybe at a higher level in the management hierarchy than you are, and you can kind of see what their thought process is, their strategies in how they're asking questions. So use them as your role models. And then the fourth is don't get defensive. This can be kind of tough, I know, because we kind of, if we're going to put ourselves out there on a limb to ask questions and get noticed, we don't want to be shut down. And so sometimes I want you to know, and this is a great sales technique, is that sometimes when you're told no, no doesn't always mean no. No really can a lot of times mean that that person doesn't have enough information. So it's your job to make sure that they have enough information to make an informed decision. So when you are sharing your perspectives, sharing your ideas, make sure that you're kind of giving all the information needed so that person can make a informed decision. Also, ask clarifying questions with this. So if that person does say no, ask the question, well, hey, Joe, can you explain why you think that my idea with regard to this project is not a great one, or you don't see value in it? And this will help you understand where they're coming from. And then you can maybe clarify more on your reason why yours is a better idea. Also, when you are challenged, this can be a tough one. And sometimes when people are challenged, they just shut down. Well, this is your time to rally. And what I mean by that is, if you are challenged, then ask that person their point of view so you can understand where they're coming from. And then you can provide your insight and your experience into why your idea is really a good one. So hopefully these tips for you are providing some value. And if they are, I hope that you will use them. And I just want to recap real quickly what they are. My 4 tips are: one is to know your why when you're going to speak up. The second is to ask questions. The third is to be prepared. And then the fourth is don't get defensive. So if this is a value for you, please like the button below. Don't forget to subscribe. And last but not least, go out and be that boss that your employees want to work for. Until next time, have a great day.